Hi BookTube, my name is Sarah and welcome to the Bookish Knitter. Today I am coming to you with my weekly reads video, and this is for week number 22, and it is May the 30th through June the 5th, 2021. I finished a grand total of 3 books this week, you guys. 3 whole books. I had originally started recording this. I got about 5 minutes into it, and then my camera shut down to remind me to take my medication. So anyway, I think it was the universe's way of telling me I rambled far too much at the beginning. So I will kind of get into some of the other fun things that I have been doing, maybe towards the end when I talk about what I'm currently reading and stuff like that, in case you guys are not interested to hear all of that stuff, because I was kind of rambling quite a bit at the beginning about completely non-bookish related stuff. So anyway, oh, sorry, eyelash. Happy Friday. Happy Sunday, everybody. It is Sunday morning. It's about 9:30. I already had my breakfast. It was Sunday, so we went to good old McDonald's, and I got my sugar-free vanilla iced coffee. I love these so much. So yeah, did that already this morning, and now I'm sitting down here to talk to you guys, and then Bree and I are going to sit down after this and we're going to record an episode of the podcast that's going to come out on Wednesday. So all the things. So I don't know when this is actually going to go up because I got to record that and then I can come back and edit this. So, and there's something else that I'm really excited about doing today, which I'll get into about towards the end when I talk about what I'm currently reading and currently kind of doing, because I just found this yesterday, this online game, and I'm a little bit obsessed with it, and I kind of just want to sit this afternoon and pop in an audiobook and just play this game. So anyway, let's get into the books that I finished this week. Like I said, I finished 3 books. So the first book that I finished was an audiobook, and that was Sweet Talk by Cara Bastone. This book I gave 5 stars to, you guys. I really loved it. This is book 2 in the Love Lines series, publication date of April of 2021. It is a contemporary romance novel, and it was narrated on audio by Chris Brinkley and Lydia Dornett. Sorry, something just almost fell over here. So anyway, I love this. 5 stars, you guys. This was so good. So this is the sequel. At first, when I started reading it, and I think when I talked about it last Sunday, I said that it didn't have anything to do with the first book, but it kind of does. Because, is it him, Elliot, the guy in this book? It's his sister, I think, that is the girl from the first book. So that's how they're tied in, but you can absolutely read these as standalones. So the plot of this story is that Elliot ends up texting this girl, and I don't want to reveal anything about her because you're revealed it as he finds out. Even though it's told in dual perspective, she doesn't give away who she is to the reader either. Do you know what I mean? It's really neat because she's it's being told in first person by both perspectives. So I guess if you're talking in first person, you don't feel the need to, give a whole lot of backstory, kind of an idea. So it's really neat the way that it was done. So anyway, he accidentally texts this girl, and they end up starting this whole phone conversation that lasts for days and days and days. And both of them are insomniacs. He texted her at like 2 o'clock in the morning, and, he doesn't know who she is, but she knows who he is. So kind of the whole thing is that he's trying to figure out who she is. And she's trying to keep him from finding out who she is because of reasons. So that's all I want to say. It was really, really good. Now, this book is an Audible original, so you can only listen to it on Audible, unfortunately. But if you have the Plus package for Audible, you can listen to it for free. This one and Call Me Maybe, which is the first book in the series. So it is perfectly made for audio. Like, you get the dings of the text messages. You get, there's a scene where she's outside and you hear the busy street. There's another one where a cop car goes by and you hear the sirens. So it really reminded me of, one of those really old radio programs, and I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. You guys need to check it out. These are sweet stories, so there's no adult content in here. Delightful. Absolutely delightful. Highly recommend. If you've got Audible and the Audible Plus package, definitely check this one out. The next one that I finished was Babysitters at Shadow Lake by Ann M. Martin. I gave this book 4 stars. Babysitters Club Super Special number 8. Original publication date July of 1992. And this, of course, was a middle grade fiction novel. I was really looking forward to this one because this is, from my memory, my favorite super special. But now reading it as an adult, I was kind of like, that was okay. But I still gave it 4 stars because the super specials are like my favorite. I love them. So anyway, this one essentially is about the babysitters. They go to this cabin in Shadow Lake, which is in Massachusetts. I think it's made up. So Christy's stepfather Watson, his aunt and uncle, he used to go to this cabin when he was a kid, or this cabin when he was a kid. And the aunt and uncle are doing up their will now, and they're like, we want to will you the cabin, but maybe you want to go with your family and see whether or not it's something you want to take on, because it's a lot of responsibility. Like, it's like having a second house, the upkeep and all those things you got to do. So for those of you who don't know about the Babysitters Club, so Christy has a big family. She's got 2 older brothers, a younger brother, and then a stepbrother and stepsister, plus an adopted sister. So then the two of the younger kids, her stepsister and her younger brother, they each bring 2 friends. So then Christy brings the entire Babysitters Club. So there's another, like, all these people end up at this cabin. So the story, the super specials are told in different perspectives. So each chapter you're getting somebody else's perspective, and they're really fun. Like, from when I was a kid, they're really fun. And even now as an adult, they're kind of, there's a charming nostalgic factor to them. That's what I love so much about them. They're just innocent, and that's really, really fun. So in the beginning of each chapter, you get like a diary entry, and it's each character has a different handwriting, which is just like, when I was younger, it was just amazing. Plus, there's like pictures all throughout the book, drawn by the guy who did the original cover art for the Babysitters Club. So those are a lot of fun too. And they are still, because I read this via ebook, they are still in the ebook versions, which is fantastic. So yeah, so it's pretty much the babysitters all going to this lake for 2 weeks, and the various things that happen. They spend one night on an island in the middle of the lake that they're told is haunted. They enter a boat, like a decorate your boat competition. The littler kids, which are the chapters I didn't care for, because I'll be honest, Karen is Christy's younger stepsister, and Karen ended up having her entire series of her own called the Babysitter's Little Sister series. I never read it, A, because I was already aged out by the time that series came about. But the other thing is, too, is that I never liked Karen. I just didn't care for Karen. I'm sorry. I know people loved Karen, and they were like, she was like everybody's favorite character. I didn't like her. And her chapters, I could have cared less. Same with the other little kids. Like, I just really didn't care. They were kind of fighting over, like, this hut they found in the woods, and it was going to be a fort. No, it was going to be a cottage. Yeah, whatever. So I could have done without those. But, you know, there is a bit of romance in here with Stacy and Christy's brother Sam, her older brother Sam. And, yeah, I mean, it was cute. It was fine. I think I read it in, like, 2 or 3 hours. It was a great bit of nostalgia. And does it still stack up as being one of my favorite super specials? I don't know. But again, as I keep saying every time I read one of these, I'm just really enjoying reading through this series. And the last book that I finished this week, and the first book, or the only book that I finished so far in the month of June, was Shadow Across the Moon by Yvonne Whittle. So this is I gave this book 3.5 stars. And this is Harlequin Presents novel number 1358, original publication date of April of 1991. This is a contemporary romance novel, of course, and I did read this for the Romance Readers Reading Group challenge on Goodreads for prompt number 4, which was Dare Day, and it's a Read a New to Me author, so I've never read Yvonne Whittle before. And I like this. So our 2 main characters are Sarah and Anton, and essentially this is written in the early 90s, and I really liked how, in a way, the situation that Sarah is going through translates very well to modern day. Essentially, what happened was that, excuse me, sorry. Excuse me just a second, you guys. I have a frog in my throat. So essentially what it is that she married this guy that she really didn't particularly care for. His name was Nigel. And she was young when she got married, about 19. And she married because of a company alliance kind of situation with her father's company. So she marries this guy. He's not particularly a very nice guy. Her father's not a particularly very nice person either. And she has very low self-esteem and all these things. And he pretty much, her father raised her to just be a lady who lunches, for lack of a better term. I think you know what I mean. The country club set. Like, someone who your entire purpose in life is to look pretty and land a rich husband and lunch at the club and do charity events. That's how she was raised. So essentially, well before the beginning of this book. Her father and her husband died together in a plane accident. I think it was a plane accident. So then she is kind of thrust into this company that her father owns, and it is a high-end, like it's a high-end clothing, but made affordable for the average woman kind of an idea. So she is now, like, she did a crash course for like 6 months to learn how to run the company. She started right at the bottom, you know, right down on the factory floor, learning how to make the clothes, and then all the way up now to being the CEO of the company. But she's stressed out. She hasn't taken a vacation in 6 years, and she's beginning to get sick. So when the book opens up, she's sick, and she ends up at the doctor's office, and Anton is the doctor. So he prescribes that she needs to take some time off. She needs a mental break. She needs mental health time. And again, written in the early 90s, I kind of really appreciated that being mentioned, that that was the reason. It wasn't because of, you know, she's just a flighty female and, you know, she can't handle the job. It wasn't the fact that she couldn't handle the job, but every now and then you need a break. And that's pretty much what he told her. So she ended up going to this resort, and she spent 6 weeks at this resort. And Anton had mentioned the resort, so that's where she went, and then he was there too. So then it's kind of their relationship. It was cute. There were parts of this, of course, that were very 90s, in terms of the fact that he's very much an alpha male, and like she, you know, no spoiler alert here, but towards the end of the book, he asks her to marry him, and she's like, no, I can't. You know, my job comes first. And she had other reasons as well. You know, and he got mad, and he would like, and at one scene he comes into her office, like barges into her office going like, why won't you marry me? That kind of very alpha male kind of character. So that I didn't care for personally. That's why it kind of got a 3.5. But outside of that, like I said, considering the time period it was written in, I liked the discussion on mental health, even though they didn't necessarily say that's what it was. You know, clearly she was, you know, she was having some stress issues. But yeah, so I liked it. I thought it was good. The only thing I'm mad about myself at is that I wish I had held off and read it this week, because it would have fit for the Categorically Romance Readathon for a book published before 2000. But that's okay. I'm sure I will come up with something else over the next 2 weeks. So yeah, so that is all that I have read this week, you guys. I know, not a lot, but that's okay. You know, I'm happy with it. I'm happy with the amount of reading that I have gotten done this week. It's been busy at work and stuff like that too. So, what else was I going to, of course, talk about? What am I currently reading? So, yeah, so first of all, because I just already mentioned it, the Categorically Romance Readathon is happening now until June the 20th, so I do hope that you will join us. There are 5 prompts. I will leave link below to my original announcement video if you haven't seen it yet. Bree and I yesterday did a live show here on the channel talking about it. Thank you everyone who joined and everyone who's watched it since. I really appreciate all of that. It's a lot of fun, and I'm really enjoying everybody like really diving into category romance and giving it a chance, and it's my bread and butter. It's my favorite thing. And yeah, I'm just really happy that other people are really starting to discover it too. So that's fantastic. So my whole goal this month was to read nothing but category romance. However, my one caveat to that has been audiobooks. So my audiobooks, I'm kind of letting them be a bit more mood reading, if you will. So the first book I want to share with you for what I'm currently reading is Dr. Strangebeard by Penny Reid. This is the 5th book in the Winston Brothers series, and the entire reason I decided to pick this one up is because Sweet Talk was narrated by Chris Brinkley as Elliot's voice, and he narrates all these series. He narrates all the Winston Brothers voices in these books, and I was listening to Sweet Talk, and I just had the biggest urge to pick up the next book in the Winston Brothers series. So I did. So this one is really good. This is Roscoe's story, Roscoe and Simone, and it's a childhood friends to enemies to lovers story. So there's a lot kind of going on in this book. This does happen, and this book takes place a number of years after book 4. So there's been a bit of time that has passed since books 3 and 4. Books 3 and 4 kind of ran parallel to each other in terms of time period. So really, I usually say it with contemporary romance series, you don't need to read them in order. However, with this series, I really think that you need to. I think it's going to make all the difference. To jump in and out of this series, I don't think would work as well in terms of the timeline. So, and because the brothers are all so close and a lot of the stories intermix with each other, like I said, books 3 and 4, there are parts of book 3 that, there are scenes in book 3 that happen in book 4 and vice versa. Even though you're kind of not told too much about it, it's stuff that'll happen, like 2 cars passing in the night kind of an idea. So anyway, this one deals with Roscoe, who is a veterinarian, and his father is a biker in the Iron Wraiths, I think is the name of the biker gang. And I don't want to divulge too much. I'm a little over halfway through it, and a big kind of plot thing has happened. But suffice it to say, this one's good. I will admit, I know this already. It's not my favorite in the series. My favorite so far is still book number 3, which is Cletus's story. Which I think is a lot of people's favorite story. But this one is still really good, and I'm still really enjoying it. So that's my audiobook currently. And then I started earlier this week. Okay, so after I finished reading this one, I picked up a book called Bride on the Run. Is it Bride on the Run? By Anna J. Stewart, which is a Harlequin heartwarming novel, which is a sweet romance. These are no adult content in these books, romance. Now, there is some kissing and some stuff like that, and it hasn't happened in this book, but I think in other books there have been like fade to black, not even fade to black, but behind closed doors kind of situation. I can't say it for all of them, and I might be remembering wrong, but I can tell you that there is no sex on the page in these books, essentially. So this one is about a girl by the name of Serena, and she has run away from her wedding. Very similar to the situation in this book, where she was marrying a man who she didn't really care for particularly, but it was an alliance with the business, with her dad's business. Her father was kind of a jerk as well. So like an hour before the wedding, she takes off, and she's the bride on the run. And she ends up jumping onto this like yacht in this, because she was getting married at a marina, like at a country club marina. And she jumps onto this boat, and she kind of stows away in a way. And Monty is our male lead, and he kind of runs the boat. And the story kind of goes from there of the two of them. I don't want to say too much more than that. I'll talk about it next week when I get it done. It's really cute. I'm really loving it. My favorite character in this book is actually a parrot by the name of Duchess. There's a stowaway parrot on the boat as well. And the parrot used to belong to someone who was like a fitness instructor. So the parrot keeps like saying like, 4 more, 3 more, like as if you were extra. It's hilarious. And I'm really, really loving it. Now, this is, I think, the 9th book in the Butterfly Harbor series. So you're kind of being introduced to characters in passing as the story goes on who appeared in previous books, but I don't think it takes away from this book at all, and you can just enjoy it as a standalone. I have not read any of the others in this series, and it's fine for me as a standalone. And I did yesterday decide to start another book. This is another ebook, and I just kind of was in the mood. This is the one that you guys voted on for me on my Friday reads of which book I should read next. And this is, oh my gosh, what is it called now? I'm blanking on it. The Princess and the Rebel Billionaire, and this is by Sophie Pembroke. I am reading this on my Gloss app. It is from NetGalley, so I do have an e-art copy of it, but I did go ahead and I did purchase a copy on the Harlequin website to support the author, but it does come out in July, so it's actually not due to hit bookstores and Amazon and all those places until July. However, if you want to buy a copy now, you can buy them off the Harlequin website, and I think Mills and Boon as well, but don't quote me on that one. Anyone who's in the UK, can you confirm if you can actually get this book currently from Mills and Boon? I could have just checked myself, but I know you guys are awesome. When I shouted out something about Mills and Boon in my Friday reads, and so many of you gave me so many great answers, and I really appreciate that so, so much. Because Mills and Boon is something I don't have a lot of knowledge in, not being in the UK, and not being someone who purchases those books because I have the Harlequin ones here. So anyway, this one is about a princess by the name of Isabella, and his name is Matteo, and he is a race car driver, and he is kind of on leave right now because he broke his leg in like a mountain climbing accident or something like that. He's very much a daredevil, where she's very much a playing it safe kind of girl. So the two of them have both signed up. She didn't know that this was happening. Her best friend and assistant signed her up for this like matchmaking, this very elite matchmaking service. And she was matched perfectly with him. And they're spending an entire week in this cabin together, getting to know each other, kind of an idea. It sounds very like The Bachelor TV show to me, sort of. but skipping a lot of those first dates. So I'm about 20% of the way through this one right now, and I'm really enjoying it. So yeah, I'm still finishing up Bride on the Run, but I just kind of liked adding in another book to keep it interesting. Maybe I'm going to probably end up going back and forth between them, but I am hoping to actually finish Bride on the Run today. So what else have I been doing? Like, what has been taking up my time? What was the thing that I rambled on about at the last video that didn't get posted because I rambled on too much? So yesterday I was looking for something online. I don't even remember what I was looking for now. And I'm sure you guys have experienced this yourself. You're looking for something online and you kind of fall down a rabbit hole and you end up finding something else. So I ran across this online game yesterday, and I'll state right off the bat, this is meant for kids. Guys, I'm kind of obsessed with it. And I spent a good couple of hours yesterday playing it while listening to my audiobook. It was delightful. I mean, really, it's meant for kids. However, it's just a bunch of fun. So the game is called Star Stable. And it's like a role-playing game. I was explaining it to my husband, and I said it kind of reminds me, because he's a big World of Warcraft player, kind of reminds me of WoW in the sense that you have a character and you're kind of exploring this world and you have to do these daily tasks and quests and things like that. That's how, in the most basic sense of it, it reminds me of World of Warcraft. However, it's not like World of Warcraft. This is a paid-for game, but you can play the first 5 levels for free. And then after that, it's relatively inexpensive. I think it's like $18 for 3 months, which is not bad at all. Considering World of Warcraft is $18 per month for Garrett to play that. So essentially what it is, it's an island and it's these girls. I think it's boys and girls. And you have a horse. So every character has a horse, and your horse, you name the horse, you name your character, you can, change your character's appearance. And as you do tasks, like right down to mucking the stalls and brushing your horse, you get money. So you get coins, and then you can buy things, like you can get a new helmet or some new dressage gear or, new oats for the horse. You have to buy food for the horse and feed them every day. And this whole island you get to explore, but at the beginning, there's parts of it that are blocked off, like you can only go so far if you're up to a certain level. And then they do like races. So you're racing other characters, like other people who are actually playing the game as well. Is that an MPRG, a multiplayer role? I don't know. Is that what that is? I don't know the acronyms. I'm not a computer game person. I'm not really a game person, but I kind of fell in love with this because I've always loved horses. Like a lot of little girls, I was obsessed with horses when I was a kid. I did take riding lessons one summer, and it was so much fun. But it's just adorable, and I love it. I kind of love it. So I spent like all this time playing it yesterday. And I'll be honest, guys, I'm kind of itching to get back to playing it this afternoon. Once I'm done editing and uploading this, I'll be doing that, listening to some more of my audiobook. Maybe I'll even put on the, because like I said, I'm reading the Princess and the Rebel Billionaire on the Gloss app from Harlequin. That app actually gives you the ability to do text-to-speech. So I might even just put it on text-to-speech and play the game and, do some reading and play. It's just so much fun. So again, it's meant for kids. I would never, ever, ever go into the chat because no, it's not for me. However, if any of you out there play this game, could you let me know? Can we be friends on this game? Is that a thing? Can we, I know my husband my husband's been playing Warcraft since before I met him. So I've been immersed in Warcraft for 11 years. And every single night he's playing. That's his thing, right? He gave it up for a while, didn't play for 6 months or a year, but then got back into it again. But I know he belongs to guilds where there's a whole group of them who go on battles. I don't know if you can do that. You're not battling anything in this game. They're all really easy. Not easy, but they're it's meant for kids. You're not going after the bad guy, to my understanding. So yeah, it's really, really cute, and I kind of love it. I will leave a link below to the website in case any of you want to check it out for yourself. And sorry, I just found it yesterday. This has probably been around for years and years and years, but I'm kind of obsessed with it at this point. So yeah, so that is that. So let's get into crafting. What time is it? Because I have a 10 o'clock to do a recording with for the podcast with Bree. So the only thing I've really been working on this week, you guys, is my socks. That's really all I've been doing. So here it is. That's where I was the last time I showed you my socks, which has been a while, because I've been mostly cross-stitching lately, but I just was in the mood to pick up some knitting this week. So that's how far I've gotten. I'm still working on the leg. It actually goes this way. So there's the top of the leg, like there's the ribbing that would hold the sock up. And then there we go. So this is the blueberry waffle pattern. It is a free sock pattern on Ravelry. It's really easy. It's really, really easy to knit. It is knit 2 rows, like just knit 2 rows, or rounds, I should say, and then do 2 rounds, knit 2, purl 2. So it, pardon me, it looks like it's got a lot of stretch and a lot of give to it, and it does. Like, these are going to be really, really nice and warm socks. This is a thicker, it feels like it's a thicker sock yarn, and I really love it. And the yarn, here, I'll show you the whole ball. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, I just love it. The ball is from, and the company is called Knitted Wit, and it's Paxi is the colorway. So there's that. So that's it, you guys. Short and sweet this week. Again, I didn't finish a lot of books, but we shall see what happens next week. Let me know in the comments below. What did you read this week? Did you have any 5-star reads at all this week? And if you made it this far in the video, I love watching people, or love hearing other people do this. If you made it this far in the video, leave me a horse emoji. I think there's a horse emoji. Leave me a horse emoji in the comments below. Anyway, guys, until my next video, take care and happy reading. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye, guys.